Create a Barcelona cushion style poof. This is the poof style we are going to create. The poof is already upholstered with lining and divided into squares. It's a basic wooden base with 4 cm foam on top. We have several videos on how to upholster a hocker, ottoman or poof on our YouTube channel, so I skipped this bit. I use a 3D printed template to create the shape of the squares where the buttons will come. You can download the drawing for free in our web shop. The link is in the box under the video. Same for the 3D printed button with a strap. This is the shape we are going to make and where the buttons will be placed. Use the template to draw the contours on the leather and cut out as many as you need for your project. The leather welt is 3 cm wide. The squares are numbered. I use a marker to be clear to you, but be careful with that as in some cases it will show through the top surface. Only the squares where the buttons will be placed are in the shape of the template. There where there are no buttons is just a straight edge. Skiving the leather. I use a machine, but there are hand knives available. Sewing the welt. I use cord 3 mm. The leather is 1.1 mm thick, and that times 2. The cord foot is 5 mm. Sewing the piping together for a longer welt on the top plate. Sewing the welt onto the square shapes. Cut off the excess of leather first. Start 1 cm from the corner and finish 1 cm from the corner. Mind you, not all squares need a welt. I will show you later. Showing where the button will cover the end of the welt. Sewing the squares with the welt together. I use cord foot 6 mm here. Place the square with the welt on top of the one without the welt. You can, like I do, sew from corner to corner or either leave 1 cm open at both corners. It all depends on the size of your button. If it will cover it all, no problem there. When a row is done, then stitch the 2 rows together. When the top plate is sewn together, then sew the welt onto the edge of the top plate. Time to sew the boxing. Same principle as the top plate. When the 4 parts of the boxing and welt is sewn, then sew them together at the corners. Fit the leather cover on the base of the ottoman. So far it's looking good. Now sew the last part of the underside as well with the welt. This cannot be hard by now. Make sure you have enough leather at the underside to fasten the cover. How to make the 3D printed button with lace. Drill the holes for the button twine at the underside. Placing the 3D printed buttons on the poof. I also use a 3D printed back button, of which the drawing also can be downloaded for free in our web shop. Of course you can also fasten the twine with a staple, but I find this way very useful as you can adjust the tension easily. Lining out the piping and the button. Place all buttons this way. Because the piping is not sewn at the end of the corner, it's easier to get your needle through the leather. Fasten the leather cover of the base with staples. I always fasten the cover first with sub-staples. That's with one leg in the wood. Then turn your work over and check if all is fine. If not, you can now easily adjust it because you do not have to use a staple lifter to get the staples out. If you're happy with the result, replace all sub-staples with vinyl staples. As I often get the question, where can I buy such sub-staples? I would like to mention that they are normal staples. The only thing is that you use your staple gun in an angle to fasten them just with one leg in the wood. folding the thick leather of the cover corners at the base at the underside. I will just let you watch me doing it. Cut off all the excess of leather, cut the twine off and put some legs of your choice under the base. Mine are reclaimed ones from an old chair. The end result. I hope this video is useful for you. Until the next video, Maya.